Chumash, Monday. Today we're going to learn about the gift that Yaakov sends to Esav, and we're going to learn about the angel wrestling with Yaakov. Mm-hmm. Page 13, Nechayenu, Pasuk Yudalad, verse 14. Vayolin sham balayla hu, Yaakov spent the night there. Vayikach min habal biyadai. He selected a gift for Esav, his brother. I'm sorry. He took from what he had in his hand, mincha. He took a gift, Esav achiv, Esav's brother, Rashi. What do you mean he took from habab yadi? He took what came into his hand. So Rashi says that's a way of saying what came to his possession. So Tvika has klartzim yada. It says if someone says he took. It says that he took from him all his land. Yada meaning he took from his possession. So that's the simple meaning of the word. Medrash Agada, the Medrash, Rashi quotes, has a different take of what the gift was. He took min haba biyadai, he took avonim toivis amargali yishalom tzar b'tzar b'tzais b'yadam. He took good, precious stones and jewels and pearls that a person, wraps into a little purse and holds onto in their hand. Davar acher, another meaning of the term habab, he took from what came to his hand. He took from an achulin. He took from the he took from what was mundane stuff because he had taken all the holy tithes. He promised, remember, God, I will give tithes if you save me. If you lead me on my journey. And only then did he give a gift. So after he took tithes to charity, then he gave this gift from that. What's the gift? Tezvav, 15. Is a Masayim Shoshim Esrim. He took 200 she-goats and 20 he-goats. The Chelam Masayim, 200 ewes, the Elam Esrim with 20 rams. 200 she-goats with 20 he-goats. 200 she-goats requires 20 he-goats. So what's the ratio of 200 female and 20 male? Because that's what's needed for mating. And indeed, all the ratio of the male of a species to its female is always going to be enough for the mating needs of that amount of females. It's 1 to 10, I guess, with goats. 1 male to 10 she-goats. The Bereshis Rabbah in the Medrash it says though, that there's the Torah, the Medrash. Rashi is going to wonder what it means in a second. He's going to say, what is the marital obligation for different workers? Because it's in the days people were working, away from home or at home with very harsh labor, their physical stamina was different, and it only, it made their marital expectations different. So it's like this: someone who is people of leisure every day. Their wife can theoretically demand them every day to give them, intimacy. Hapoyalim, if they're workers, laborers, physical laborers, twice a week because they're exhausted. Chamarim, donkey drivers once a week because they go away for the whole week and they're always, their job is taking them on journeys. Hagamalim, drivers that go on further journeys, their wives can expect them to give them time once every 30 days. Hasapanim, if they're sailors, they're away for a long time, so that's the minimum once every 6 months. So Rashi says, okay, that's the Medrash. The Medrash says we learn it from this idea of the amount of animals, of male to female animals. And Rashi says, I don't understand at first glance what the Medrash is meaning. Like, how do you learn this type of, human workers' minimum marital time for their wives? How do you learn? What's the connection? So Rashi tries to say this. It seems to me the following. Nearer be'enai, it seems in my eyes, that a person is not expected to have marital duties except according to the load on him, right? If he's a coal miner and he's away and he's working crazy hours, there's less expectation of his marital intimacy availability. Because how do we find it? What's the logic here? We find this by the animals. A tayish is a male goat. A male goat is they don't do anything. They just eat. They eat food or whatever. They don't they don't plow fields. So because they're an idle worker, the goat, therefore you find that he gave one goat was expected to impregnate and mate with 10 she-goats. It's a lot of work for one goat because he's nothing else to do. So that's what he does. And they could do that. And that's why the ratio is one goat for 10 female goats. And once the female is impregnated, she's not going to mate anymore. Okay. Oxen, cows, bulls, they do work for the farmer. They don't just mate. They're also working the field. So therefore, it was only one bull for every 4 cows, female cows. That shows that the more the work on the animal, the less expectation of, mass mating with a lot of partners. V'lachamor, and donkeys. Donkeys work even harder in a way than bulls, because they're working long stretches. So, not harder, but longer. So therefore, he only gave 2 she donkeys for every 1 male donkey. And camels that they work even longer, it was a 1-to-1 ratio. So that's Rashi quoting from the Yerushalmi, the Gemara Yerushalmi, Talmud Yerushalmi. Okay. Tezayin, Gemalim and Nikiyos v'neim Shleishim, 30 nursing camels with their colts, Horis Arboyim Parmasara, 40 cows with 10 bulls. Asaynes Esrim, 20 she donkeys, Bayarim Asara, with 10 he donkeys. Tezayin, 30 nursing camels. 30 nursing camels and their colts with them. The Aggadic explanation is Ubneihem, that the Aggadic explanation is, so literally means, 30 nursing camels with their babies. But actually, the way he translates it is, it's actually a play on words. They're bana ehem, they're builders, meaning they're male mates. He gave 1 male for every female donkey, as we said earlier. And the reason by the camel versus all the other animals, it doesn't say about how many male camels in an explicit way. It's done in this kind of euphemistic way, because camels are modest when they mate. Therefore, the Torah rewarded them by modestly referring to their mating, not in an explicit way. The other animals are just animals. So it says it, just like the birds and the bees. Okay. Vayarim, chamoirim, zecharim. Vayarim are he donkeys. Okay, Yud Zayin. Vayitein biyada vadav eder lavadai. So Yaakov gave to his servants each herd by itself. He said to his servants, Ivru lefanai, go on ahead of me, v'revach tasimu, but leave an interval between ben eder and eder, between one herd and the next. Each herd by itself. Rashi, eder means every species by itself. And he said to the people, to the servants, you go take the animals ahead of me, a distance of a day or less, and I will follow you. But he says, but leave an interval. Rashi on page 15, v'revach tasimu, leave an interval. Place each herd before the other at a full eye's distance. This is in order to satiate the eye of that wicked man Esav and to amaze him with the great size of the gift. It's an army tactic, right? You want to make the people afraid of your army, you make them, single file troops. And it seems like the army goes forever. So he says, basically he's a little different here. He's saying, do the species of, let's say, the goats, let them go, or the camels go first. But then leave a interval where it's like, wow, look how many camels are coming. And he a very far, like a football field, like an eye's distance, like far away, put the next herd, because just when he's getting excited about, oh my gosh, look at all these camels coming my way, but wait, there's more. And he gets excited with the next thing. And then he thinks that's it. And he's like, oh wow, so there's so many donkeys. Oh wait, there's more. I think that's what it's saying. Yudches, 18. He commanded the first one saying, Ki of Goshcha Esav Achi, when Esav, my brother, when Esav, my brother, meets you and asks you, and saying, L'miata, to whom do you belong? And where are you? L'miata, where are you? To whom do you belong? And from whom? Where are you going? And who are these animals? Whom do these animals before you belong to? Rashi. L'miata means very short. L'miata, who are you? Meaning, who do you belong to? Who's your messenger? Who's your boss? Who's your sender? Therefore, English translates it, demanat. Of whom do you servants belong to? And to whom these animals which are before you, whose are they? For whom is this gift sent? The lamed prefix can be used in place of shell, of belonging to. As in, everything you see is really to me, belongs to me. The earth in its entirety is to the eternal, belonging to Hashem. And of whose are these? And of whose are these? I mean, who these animals belong to? Hebrews are very, poetic, quick, shorthand language. So, whom do you say? You don't say, whom do these belong to? You say, of whom are these? He'll reply to him, this belongs to your servant Yaakov. It's a gift sent to my master. And Yaakov himself is coming right behind us. Rashi attests. Bring it ahead. Look at you. Rashi attests, bottom 15. He answered. So you're going to answer him on his. Yaakov's literally like telling them the script. On his first question, you'll answer first, and the second, and then the second question, later questions, later. That which you'll ask, who do I belong to? I belong to Yaakov. I'm Yaakov's servant. As English translates, the Avdach Yaakov. That which you ask, who do these belong to? They're yours. They're a gift from Yaakov to you. And he himself is coming as well. Chav, Vayisav, Gamas Hasheni, Gamas Hashish, Gamas Hakalech, Macharai, Hodim. He also commanded the second group and the third group. All those are following the herds, saying, Kadavar Azav Tadabna Leisav. With these words, you shall speak to Esav, Maisacha, Maisai, when you meet him. Okay. Chaf Aleph, Amartim, you shall say to him, Gam hini avdach Yaakov acharinu. Your servant Yaakov has also come behind us. Ki Amar achab rafanav, for he said, let me appease him with the gift that precedes me. After that, I will face him. That's a good word. I will face him. I'll see his face. I'll face him. Ulai yisafanai. Maybe he will turn to me. Rashi, yisafanai means he'll turn favorably to me. He will show me face. He'll show me favor. Chafal v'chapra panav. Let me appease him. Avat l'rogzoi v'hem chuper brischem es maves lo yituch lichapara. Dira be'enai shekop kapara shis la'oven v'chet v'etz upon him kulan l'shekinu v'aval rahim. It appears that every word is used in connection with transgression or sin, or in connection with face, always means wiping away or removal. Wipe away his anger. We see v'chaper yedei. We see in the Talmud. It's an Aramaic term of kapara is Aramaic. You see in the Gemara v'chaper yedei, which means he wiped his hands. Or ba'oid l'chapure yedei b'gavra. He wished to wipe his hands off to that person, to shift responsibility. Tag Yiret, right? And also in the language of scripture, the bowls of the sanctuary are called kifere zav, because the bowls in the temple was the kohen would wipe his finger on the rim, wipe the blood off. He'd like wipe the blood off by pushing it on the rim. Okay. And the gift is in order that Yaakov wants to say to you, I'm trying to appease your anger. The gift went on ahead of him. Well, he spent that night in the desert, in the camp. Chabez. Alpanov. It's the same in the meaning of Lifanov. Is the same in meaning as ahead of him. Similarly, find cries of robbery and swindling are heard there before me, always. Similarly, those who anger before me. And the good explanation is, it signifies the Yaakov is also in a state of anger because he needed to do all this. So literally, the gift went, I'll put him, he's in front of him. So he's in front of me. The Medrash says Yaakov was, just like he said, Achapra Panov, I will, I'm giving you this gift in order to,
You're not coming through. Your voice is not coming through.
Anger.
Something's wrong with the audio, Rabbi. Rabbi, something's wrong with
his
the audio.
Anger. Apparently here, your face, right? So Yaakov says, today's better? Is that
Slightly,
better?
a little bit. I can hear you.
Yeah, the
There's
internet's messed up
something
here.
in the audio that's screwing it up.
It's the internet connection, so
Yeah,
we're
it's
doing our
bad.
best.
Something caused it just now because it wasn't happening for most of the class.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Anyways, Yaakov was also angry that he had to do all this. Yeah. Yaakov was also angry he had to do all this, which is interesting. Why would Yaakov be angry? Angry's bad, right?
Doing what?
He had to do all these preparations to meet
No, he
Esau.
made it. He brought it on himself. He brought it on himself. He had no reason to be angry. He was just trying to save his own life.
So it's a great question, right? So why is Yaakov? It says in Rashi, he was angry that he had to go through all this hoops to deal with.
He was the one who decided.
Rivka
Rivka was the one who decided he would go through the hoops. Rivka
So
was
he's
the one.
angry that has to be in this situation.
He
So
put
you're okay that he's angry.
it's his own fault.
You're not okay.
Maybe his own good blessing. Who knows?
I don't know. I'm not sure why I don't really get it. Let's go on. Chav Gimel Vayakam Alaylahu. He himself got up during the night. He took his two wives, two maidservants, and 11 kids. And he crossed the Yabok ford. Rashi, his 11 kids. Where's Dinah? He had 12 kids. He had 11 sons, but he had 12 kids, including Dinah. So it says Dinah was hidden away in a box because she was beautiful and he didn't want Esav to look at her. And
Wouldn't that have been
actually was considered a bad thing. Esav.
She could have made Esav into a believer.
What?
She could have turned Esav into a believer. It would have been something.
That's actually Rashi. Rashi says that was. So Rashi says that was a negative. That was a demerit that Yaakov did by hiding her, because maybe Dinah could have, rehabilitated Esav.
Exactly. He could have rehabbed him.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why one of the reasons Yaakov is punished that his daughter is defiled by Shechem, since he didn't allow her to use her talent to rehabilitate Esav. A negative consequence, Mida connected Mida, is she's taken by somebody else.
Absolutely. That's sad.
Anyways, Yabok. This is the name of the river. He took his family and led them across the stream. He then moved his possessions across. He took his possessions, the animals and the movable goods. He acted as a ferryman, taking them from one side and putting them on the other.
Yeah, very man.
Of Hey. Yaakov was left by himself, and a man wrestled with him. With him till dawn. Rashi. Yaakov was left by himself because he forgot a few jugs and went back for them. A man wrestled. All of a sudden, a man's here. So Menachem ben Saruk, Rashi's one of Rashi's earlier lexicographer sources, he explains this to mean that a man covered himself in dust, understanding Vayavik in the sense of dust. So the word for wrestling is dust. Avak means dust, because when you wrestle, you kick up dust. Rashi goes a little different. So that's why he translates it. This other dictionary guy that Rashi quotes, he translates the word in Aramaic as Vayisapar. the man got dusty. But Rashi translation it means vayis it means he got entangled. And it's Aramaic. We see avikube is attached. Avik le mevak. Loshan nivel. Shken derech shnayim shmisamsim ha'apeli sheseu shechev geva eva b'zreisav. That's the way that two people when they're two people when they are wrestling.
Esau's guardian angel. Think about.
Yeah, it's an expression of intertwining. It's usual of people who are fighting in order to throw each other over, that one hugs the other and twines his arms around him. A rabbi's of blessed memory explained this man was Esau's guardian angel. Okay, Chavav, Vayar Kila Yachaloi, 26. Man saw he cannot over, this man, the angel, disguised, cannot overcome Yaakov. Yigag b'chafrag reichai. So he touched Yaakov's upper thigh bone. Take a kaf yerech Yaakov, and thus Yaakov's upper thigh bone was dislocated b'avka imai while he was wrestling with him. Chavav. So he touched the spoon of his thigh. Upper thigh bone, which is sunk into the hip bone, is called kaf, because the flesh that covers it has the form of a pot ladle. It's like a ladle.
Yeah.
So the thigh bone is covered by like a half a sphere of a flesh, I guess. Vatekam, and become dislocated from its joint. Similar to the meaning of my soul may not be teka, distanced. It means removal. The language of the Mishnah, we find l'kakeh bitzasa means to pull out roots, pull out. Chav Zayin, Vayimer Shalchenis, the man said, let me go.
Is that the root
Shachar, the dawn is...
we're talking about when we blow the shofar? The same root?
Oh, interesting. I never thought of that. It's interesting. I don't know. I think it's different because taka also means to insert. Or I'm not sure.
Okay.
Maybe there's a correlation. I don't know.
Is it the same spelling? I guess so.
I feel it's different because I think that the tough is not necessarily part of the root. Could be the kuf ayin is the root here. That's what I think. I'm not sure. He says the dawn is broke, and he continues. He said, "Lo yashalechacha, I will not let you go. Kim berachtani, unless you bless me. Berachtani, admit to my right the blessings. Hoydeli abrachi sheberchani avi. I will not let you go unless you bless me. Omit to my right to the blessings which my father blessed me, which he Esav lays claim." Meaning, you're the guardian angel, you're Esav's like spiritual source. I want the spiritual source of Esav acknowledge the blessings do not go to Esav. Chaf heches. Vayimer love, so the man said to him, Mashmech, what's your name? Vayimer, he said, Yaakov. Chavtes, Yemer lo Yaakov, Yemer Eid Shimcha. Your name will no longer be Yaakov. It will no longer be said that your name is Yaakov. Kiyim Yisrael. Rather, your name will be Yisrael. Kisaris em Elokim, because it comes from the root of Yisrael, as you have become great before God, with men. Vatuchon, you overcame him. Let's see Rashi. Lo Yaakov. So again, this is the way Rashi's interpreting it is this is about getting vindication for taking the blessings from Esav's angel. So he said, what's the blessing? Okay, you want the blessing? You're no longer called Yaakov, which is a name of trickery. Ikva means trickery, deceit. Rather, because Esav claimed that you got the blessing through deceit. But now we see the angel of Esav is saying, no, you get it fair and square. You're getting it in a noble way and openly. In the end, Hashem is going to reveal to himself to you later on. He's giving him like a glimpse, the angel says. God's going to come to you in Beis El and change your name himself. And there he's going to bless you. And I will be there, the angel says, and I will admit your right to the blessings. And that's what this verse refers to, that Vayosher el Malach Vayuchol Bacha V'Yischan. It says in Hosea, the prophet Hosea talks about this story. He says that Yaakov championed over the angel and overcame him. And the angel wept and implored him. What was the angel crying about? So he was saying, Maneschan, what was he crying? Beis El Yimtzenu V'Sham Yidarimai. He says, wait for me till God will speak with you there, and then you'll get the blessing of your Yisrael owner, fair and square, upright man who gets the blessings and not a trickster of the blessings.
Oh, meaning that you just said for Yisrael,
right.
Yashar,
Right.
no, the upright of God.
Right. So so it's a little different. I think it's something the same thing. The way they translate is you're actually sar, you're noble before God, your nobility. Like it's another way of saying the same thing. You're upright, you're lofty before God. Sar could also mean a minister. You're a minister for God. Like in regards to blessings, you're in charge. You are correct. It's kind of different meanings, the same general direction. And Yaakov did not want that. He did not want to wait. So he forced the angel now to concede. And this is what it means. He blessed him there in verse 30, that the angel was pleading to wait. I'll bless you with God in not too long. No, now. And he didn't agree to wait. And among men, with men Esav and Lavan. And you overcame them. Yeah. So you are the way Rashi goes, you're Sarara Vigilipanim. You are the openly acknowledged victor and an upright one. It says nobility. Nobility means you're the acknowledged winner, noble of these blessings. Because you have become ennobled with God and ennobled with man, with Lavan and Esav. Rashi. Okay. Lamed. Vayishal Yaakov questioned the man, Vayemer, and he said, Hagidin Hashmecha, tell me your name. Vayemer, and the man said, Lama Zatisha Lishmi. Why do you ask me my name? And he blessed him there. There, because he didn't want to wait. Remember, he wanted to see it now. Lama Zatisha. The angel said, why are you asking me? Ein Lano Shem Kavua. I'm an angel. I don't have a fixed name. Our names change according to the nature of the command that God sends us on.